consider, increase, expect, decide, develop, provide, continue, include, remain, reach, allow, force, offer, realize, suggest, require, worry, wonder, cost, tend, depend, share, demand, support, hire, regard, base, improve, recognize, notice, suppose, raise, prefer, cheer, suffer, comma, describe, prevent, reduce, mistake, prepare, encourage, prove, treat, establish, relate, compare, spread, refer, supply, gain, destroy, apply, seek, search, claim, draw, refuse, respond, mention, judge, approach, admit, reflect, perform, bore, survive, represent, argue, grant, indicate, belong, acquire, reply, feed, escape, replace, reveal, surround, suit, estimate, aim, earn, decline, afford, confuse, graduate, vary, remove, insist, examine, remind, contribute, warn, connect, match, faux, reject, convince, associate, rush, stress, attract, rely, regret, adopt, shake, hurt, operate, extend, blame, consist, persuade, admire, disappoint, expand, preserve, struggle, arrange, disturb, employ, engage, abandon, display, encounter, amuse, bother, concentrate, adapt, puzzle, appeal, combine, delay, repair, fascinate, pardon, import, remark, reserve, amaze, frighten, release, rent, recover, suspect, deliver, identify, locate, manufacture, occupy, own, expose, translate, cure, perceive, adjust, alarm, assist, freeze, spoil, shift, embarrass, approve, weigh, stretch, participate, exhibit, O. Celebrate. Decorate. Forgive. Seat. Injure. So. Result. Feature. Society. Wheel. Value. Effect. Individual. Influence. Fee. Rate. Sign. Service. Advance. Laughter. Material. Industry. Attempt. Trade. Progress. Excuse. Custom. Passage. Economy. Track. Transportation. Official. Site. Taste. Range. Appointment. Comma. Patient. Project. Favor. Appearance. Risk. Benefit. Resident. Relative. Region. Characteristic. Pain. Twin. Occasion. Principle. Department. Comma. Duty. Scene. Jam. Spirit. Medium. Mass. A. Audience. Element. Climate. Revolution. Quarter. Furniture. Brain. Atmosphere. Property. Reward. Security. Delight. Desert. Background. Trend. Vote. Impact. Institution. Interaction. Alternative. Harm. Agency. Capacity. Minister. Volunteer. Access. Quantity. Branch. Common. Rough. Likely. Serious. Particular. Available. Bilingual. Ready. V. Correct. Familiar. Physical. Worth. Involved. Fantastic. Private. Obvious. Native. Complex. Willing. Current. Male. Proper. Capable. Independent. Positive. Pleasant. Significant. Former. Chemical. Upset. Previous. Com. Specific. Conscious. Superior. Efficient. Fundamental. Narrow. Reasonable. Nervous. Alike. Domestic. Negative. Moral. Eager. Remarkable. Evil. Awake. Aged. Anxious. Tough. Nuclear. Legal. Curious. Civil. Recent. Senior. Afterward. Nearly. Therefore. Exactly. Possibly. V. Contrary. Occasionally. Somehow. Seldom. Thus. Throughout. Unlike. Besides. Beyond. Within. Nor. Unless. Except. Ought. In spite of. Whether. Explain. Accept. produce, exist, express, add, avoid, marry, protect, affect, determine, solve, contain, discuss, ignore, guess, exchange, satisfy, complain, achieve, enable, intend, obtain, divide, annoy, differ, educate, borrow, invent, promote, advise, retire, permit, recommend, apologize, inform, oppose, trust, select, praise, handle, propose, breathe, criticize, overcome, possess, predict, publish, floating, recall, explore, pretend, absorb, resemble, tear, consume, compete, quit, announce, react, wander, text, generate, score, government, knowledge, nation, effort, period, population, purpose, behavior, lack, skill, quality, environment, role, attitude, author, research, opportunity, source, carbon, shape, advantage, method, habit, detail, distance, crowd, instance, desire, standard, task, generation, responsibility, experiment, athlete, decade, 10, loss, fever, theory, statement, professor, function, surface, envelope, organization, policy, resource, contrast, flood, mate, goods, creature, structure, tradition, weight, charity, citizen, impression, cartoon, career, sight, passenger, violence, income, temperature, majority, origin, literature, equipment, stranger, strength, planet, fiction, religion, pollution, wealth, document, profit, technique, emotion, phenomenon, hoarder, ladder, billion, status, youth, confidence, edge, household, scholar, survey, vocabulary, enemy, construction, lecture, instruction, crisis, instrument, crop, weapon, device, path, earthquake, stream, notion, yard, victim, fuel, ancestor, soil, debate, crime, colleague, shelf, analysis, universe, electricity, insect, web, storm, plenty, agriculture, gene, evidence, consequence, infant, leisure, sell, talent, advertising, extend, garbage, general, various, similar, complete, sharp, expensive, political, aware, ancient, medical, essential, huge, terrible, practical, entire, favorite, comfortable, minor, typical, ideal, principal, appropriate, empty, rapid, mental, excellent, convenient, potential, financial, enormous, rare, artificial, tiny, considerable, sensitive, intellectual, thirsty, polite, accurate, rude, sufficient, urban, temporary, primitive, permanent, elderly, severe, brief, mobile, latest, military, strict, solid, stupid, biological, probably, hardly, immediately, eventually, frequently, extremely, gradually, instantly, nevertheless, moreover, relatively, apparently, definitely, largely, mostly, approximately, overnight, accidentally, despite, proceed, ensure, interpret, cease, ban, obey, eliminate, resist, accompany, commit, pursue, demonstrate, bet, ruin, threaten, attach, reverse, restrict, compose, lean, substitute, trace, interrupt, confront, illustrate, arrest, stimulate, assure, consult, depress, crash, inspire, specialize, cultivate, fulfill, transmit, found, clap, burst, book, dismiss, breed, prohibit, oblige, qualify, invest, grasp, collapse, overlook, accuse, frustrate, deprive, astonish, resistor, correspond, cast, attribute, neglect, starve, resolve, impose, convert, scare, constitute, appoint, imply, assign, nod, elect, transfer, rob, capture, undertake, drown, split, resort, descend, irritate, pronounce, equip, cheat, emerge, devote, heal, urge, envy, chase, prompt, withdraw, detect, interfere, kid, launch, endanger, foster, diminish, spill, infect, stem, tap, embrace, proportion, contract, chest, treasure, stock, facility, soon, rank, democracy, emergency, protest, immigrant, vehicle, routine, stuff, row, profile, semicolon, dawn, welfare, perspective, enthusiasm, faith, occupation, witness, kingdom, equivalent, objective, pile, shelter, trial, honor, territory, frame, border, statistics, enterprise, context, load, grain, review, prejudice, strain, trap, temper, slave, wound, divorce, tune, height, faculty, span, dimension, version, parallel, horizon, acquaintance, burden, basis, poison, constitution, administration, charm, organ, prey, venture, mission, inquiry, award, strip, distress, circulation, shade, stereotype, client, output, lord, convention, mine, craft, core, stroke, frontier, pier, vessel, disability, comma, gravity, ethic, terminal, tide, abuse, guilty, vital, fellow, contemporary, annual, accustomed, steady, dull, keen, loose, delicate, internal, casual, mature, concrete, awful, exhausted, overall, tight, prime, genuine, modest, intimate, minimum, sophisticated, ladder, bitter, peculiar, passive, ethnic, noble, vain, innocent, underlying, alien, relevant, inclined, awkward, brilliant, desperate, refreshing, thrilled, inner, consistent, plain, vivid, miserable, substantial, fond, false, lazy, precisely, meanwhile, altogether, lately, barely, scarcely, accordingly, deliberately, beneath, whereas, declare, alter, rise, transform, defeat, investigate, distinguish, bury, cope, occur, accomplish, hesitate, endure, conclude, guarantee, dominate, confirm, greet, dot, entertain, defend, forbid, broadcast, sacrifice, punish, glance, retain, calculate, sinking, rescue, beg, define, deceive, convey, sustain, purchase, fade, regulate, distribute, enhance, chat, exceed, wipe, cooperate, inherit, unite, leap, exaggerate, conquer, melt, invade, modify, scatter, undergo, evaluate, bend, derive, screaming, gaze, pray, polish, classify, assert, grab, fold, sweep, whisper, imitate, stare, emphasize, rid, pour, vanish, restore, deserve, laboratory, conference, continent, insurance, crew, poverty, shortage, affair, exception, wage, wisdom, tax, evolution, barrier, category, unit, reputation, virtue, courage, sympathy, union, civilization, volume, blossom, era, dispute, tourism, mankind, murder, landscape, destination, tale, reform, muscle, prospect, corporation, colony, quarrel, profession, aspect, pause, conflict, privilege, prosperity, genius, seed, symptom, merit, layer, clue, circumstances, district, prison, companion, executive, justice, procedure, ray, heaven, luxury, oxygen, fund, theme, boundary, ambition, forecast, physiology, labor, committee, physician, philosophy, affection, candidate, bomb, priority, obstacle, appetite, tension, tribe, budget, campaign, sorrow, satellite, insight, cough, fate, scheme, insult, inhabitant, fossil, motive, instinct, legend, empire, suburb, architecture, passion, cancer, logic, dozen, harvest, ingredient, hypothesis, voyage, editor, auction, hemisphere, mechanism, anthropologist, tragedy, antibiotic, fair, debt, curriculum, component, wheat, usage, castle, famine, extinction, purse, folk, explosion, portion, organism, merchant, myth, incident, wildlife, congress, bay, penalty, heritage, diversity, thumb, geography, factor, discrimination, virus, statue, priest, pioneer, trait, bond, grocery, secretary, dialect, astronomy, youngster, substance, finding, strategy, lung, opponent, ritual, outcome, conservation, mammal, telescope, refugee, code, flavor, particle, nursing, suicide, habitat, bullying, dinosaur, council, gender, surgery, innovation, protein, nutrition, disaster, emission, babe, molecule, sweat, transplant, species, tip, cattle, density, concept, pale, precious, loyal, isolated, generous, tropical, reluctant, vague, vast, numerous, rural, widespread, complicated, visible, raw, remote, urgent, silly, striking, adequate, extraordinary, odd, abstract, mutual, excessive, ashamed, tremendous, inevitable, pure, stable, indifferent, aggressive, ultimate, shy, solar, profound, subtle, conservative, brave, intense, alcoholic, manual, cruel, rational, initial, immune, linguistic, crucial, verbal, optimistic, flexible, grateful, lively, overwhelming, abundant, selfish, ugly, racial, prominent, controversial, federal, ridiculous, imaginary, harsh, random, adolescent, up-to-date, liberal, prior, moderate, fluent, elaborate, incredible, radical, acid, deaf, medieval, ecological, slight, ignorant, cognitive, absolutely, virtually, somewhat, merely, literally, seemingly, regardless, thoroughly, submit, tempt, resign, conform, confine, assemble, dedicate, advocate, thrive, provoke, dictate, exploit, surrender, reproduce, acknowledge, swell, shed, wind, sight, digest, skip, bind, dissolve, implement, steer, congratulate, designate, violate, presume, recruit, coincide, enforce, displace, shrink, betray, comprise, indulge, penetrate, devastate, plunge, bounce, contradict, prescribe, oppress, cherish, illuminate, trigger, commute, induce, utilize, snap, donate, hatch, comma, enclose, prevail, sigh, leak, compel, crush, comprehend, negotiate, persist, multiply, conceive, compensate, suspend, stir, soak, refine, arouse, precede, render, mount, retreat, startle, dare, sphere, sequence, deposit, pull, caution, rage, formula, plot, scope, norm, disgust, compromise, supervisor, paradox, tissue, breakdown, initiative, fabric, publicity, summit, flock, plague, haste, nap, ally, draft, soptical, premise, asset, lag, therapy, reception, compound, blessing, sensation, recession, pull, outlook, endeavor, mercy, counterpart, session, spectrum, junk, worship, apt, humble, entitled, valid, faint, stiff, obscure, fierce, acute, idle, crude, jealous, pregnant, liable, stubborn, decent, marvelous, misleading, synthetic, classical, Muslim, anticipate, rub, dispose, refrain, accumulate, boost, drag, revise, scratch, roar, quote, bloom, insert, awaiting, dread, conceal, enrich, cling, surpass, suppress, portray, soaring, drain, glow, migrate, exclaim, exert, disguise, accelerate, dwell, integrate, weep, reassure, crawl, restrain, resent, yell, assess, carve, halt, inspect, tackle, omit, chew, resume, mold, accommodate, erase, inferred, revive, contemplate, rotate, disrupt, navigate, bake, discard, incorporate, overtake, supplement, manipulate, nourish, squeeze, depict, distract, disclose, enroll, nurture, speculate, prolong, execute, uncover, tremble, seize, abolish, scold, attain, utter, flee, offending, confess, postpone, drift, weave, install, twist, extract, bump, despise, tolerate, boast, flourishing, disregard, tease, reinforce, strive, coordinate, yawn, hug, combat, knit, fatigue, fame, mess, dignity, canal, drought, despair, interval, luggage, behalf, impulse, debris, beast, superstition, illusion, thread, intake, feast, transition, misery, radiation, log, consensus, deed, proverb, compliment, flame, anniversary, conscience, expedition, offspring, allowance, headline, treaty, monument, worm, remedy, encyclopedia, glimpse, personnel, triumph, arithmetic, self-esteem, microbe, odds, chaos, destiny, diameter, lottery, souvenir, trail, ratio, sword, whistle, sentiment, chore, courtesy, mayor, surveillance, trash, prestige, headquarters, wilderness, orbit, bias, republic, bargain, domain, fragment, galaxy, lap, deadline, bullet, pedestrian, wit, nuisance, criteria, hardship, glory, pavement, navy, script, pension, province, surplus, moisture, patch, altitude, thermometer, tuition, troop, primate, flaw, nephew, garment, diagnosis, commerce, antiquity, fraction, irony, nightmare, defect, semicolon, certificate, decay, erosion, recipe, skeleton, grace, landmark, dementia, flesh, collision, hazard, tomb, injection, breakthrough, leather, jewelry, queue, ambulance, estate, commodity, departure, phase, thief, saint, sculpture, grief, lane, predator, fluid, incentive, bride, intervention, margin, biography, consent, volcano, rebel, metaphor, legislation, lightning, pesticide, column, rumor, dust, dialogue, kindergarten, diabetes, obesity, patent, chapter, palace, laundry, ward, outbreak, equation, archaeologist, corruption, germ, revenue, spouse, epidemic, mortality, syndrome, retail, dose, beverage, metabolism, hybrid, scent, inflammation, pill, grave, fertile, hostile, indispensable, oriented, splendid, competent, supreme, straightforward, sacred, bold, uneasy, neat, sallow, fake, superficial, absurd, fragile, respectable, magnificent, infinite, comprehensive, steep, gross, subsequent, sincere, toxic, neutral, diligent, sore, contaminated, ambiguous, oral, restless, rotten, vigorous, immense, metropolitan, punctual, solitary, collective, diplomatic, nasty, helpless, explicit, bankrupt, eternal, soul, sour, notable, affluent, naked, vocal, feminine, vacant, exotic, rigid, humid, outstanding, addicted, vulnerable, spontaneous, greedy, trivial, per capita, inherent, promising, physiological, clinical, chronic, geological, countless, innate, alert, autonomous, simultaneously, utterly, drastically, necessarily, thereby, frankly, namely, hence, via, clarify, smash, mourn, summon, shatter, linger, lament, endowed, rejoice, allocate, slap, contend, swear, discern, degrade, erect, testify, spur, roam, frown, lure, defy, stroll, rattle, reconcile, blur, soothe, impair, comply, pierce, stumble, hinder, mock, embody, stalk, proclaim, applaud, inflict, merge, evacuated, undone, poke, haunted, adhere, compile, wither, stun, choke, deteriorate, dump, murmur, delete, inhibit, divert, tame, reap, affirm, immersed, expire, embark, vow, foresee, adore, yearn, undermine, suck, pledge, intrude, sue, distort, extinguish, preach, curb, withstand, dip, recite, thrust, pleadings, humiliate, discharge, condemn, retrieve, shrug, evoke, fetch, flatter, prose, textile, timber, masterpiece, riot, carriage, apparatus, fuss, deficiency, air, equator, petroleum, witch, vapor, probe, expertise, scorn, profit, breeze, sin, surge, compliment, cue, stake, ambassador, jury, cluster, lump, meadow, feet, temperament, chill, appliance, predecessor, entity, hospitality, narrative, segment, catastrophe, monarch, constraint, amendment, cosmos, isle, hierarchy, toll, transaction, burglar, tyranny, parasite, intuition, communist, legacy, vein, discourse, dairy, artifact, outlet, apprehension, melancholy, novelty, specimen, hygiene, tactics, monopoly, token, aristocracy, revenge, activist, rhetoric, entrepreneur, census, verge, advent, analogy, irrigation, coverage, cuisine, menace, peril, limb, assault, hatred, autonomy, cram, subsidy, empathy, slang, posture, ideology, curse, tumor, intersection, duration, deforestation, precaution, bunch, shortcoming, aspiration, psychiatrist, shipping, senator, statesman, subordinate, vacuum, quest, meditation, subscriber, riddle, rag, rust, sanitation, midst, mischief, proficiency, recollection, latitude, friction, botanist, heredity, contempt, anatomy, integrity, cargo, bribe, eruption, funeral, deficit, bulk, millionaire, ash, realm, plantation, plow, vending, orphan, neuron, vegetation, warrior, mutation, sewage, paradigm, protocol, skyscraper, accord, bureaucrat, array, clash, torture, rain, thesis, digit, agenda, onset, peasant, ultraviolet, renowned, transparent, dim, legitimate, adverse, swift, naive, dumb, gloomy, furious, earnest, terrific, vertical, wicked, subjective, enlightened, authentic, brutal, dizzy, sheer, naughty, damned, static, doomed, respiratory, innumerable, clumsy, aesthetic, obsessed, detached, wrecked, reckless, arrogant, preoccupied, gigantic, conspicuous, slender, manifest, tidy, skeptical, notorious, anonymous, monotonous, ample, trim, savage, coherent, eloquent, foul, juvenile, compulsory, prone, arbitrary, ingenious, divine, tender, outraged, intrinsic, paralyzed, compatible, patriotic, eminent, potent, insane, staple, second-hand, indigenous, utmost, integral, intricate, demographics, mighty, intact, intent, intriguing, merry, perpetual, spinal, susceptible, mandatory, upright, abruptly, conversely, predominantly, lest,